Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Today, I'm going to be taking a look at this, the TMS-056 Hot Toys Boba Fett Repaint Armor and Throne 6-scale collectible set from The Mandalorian. Let's see how it turned out.
Greetings. Username authorized.
All right, first up as always, we're going to talk about this box. And as you can see, it is larger than your average Hot Toys box, as one would expect given its status as an actual set, including a really heavy-duty, gorgeous piece of furniture, for lack of a better word. Anyway, yeah, and it bears all the trademarks of any 6-scale collectible box, any Star Wars collectible box that comes down the pipe. It has the angled gray border, dark gray border, leading into black, in this case with a photograph of the Boba Fett figure sitting on the throne of formerly Jabba's palace, then Bib Fortuna's palace, now it's Boba's palace. Palace, just somebody's palace. It's always somebody's palace. Why you gotta have a palace? And Hot Toys actually finds a way, as we've discussed, to break free of the restrictions placed upon box production, box design by Lucasfilm, by providing us with this really cool cigar band that features a couple of additional photos of the figure. In this case, on one side, you can see that we have a really sweet photo of Fett up with both of his guns in hand with his helmet on in that stunning repaint armor. Over here, we've got a glimpse of the portrait of Temuera Morrison as Boba Fett from the show, all scarred up from his time spent in the belly of a sarlacc. Again, I've talked about this before, but these cigar bands, they vary in tone depending on which franchise they are from. In this case, we have these warm tones that we associate with season 1 of The Mandalorian. Now for season 2 of The Mandalorian, these tones change slightly. So when you see all these boxes lined up on a shelf, if you want to store all your boxes neatly in a row and organize them by, say, TV show or film or what have you, each TV show or film is going to have a different color palette for the cigar bands. So look out for that. It's actually kind of fun to see what transpires, especially in the event that a new TV show or a new film pops up. Every time that happens, I keep thinking to myself, legitimately thinking to myself, that wow, I wonder what the color palette's going to be for the new show. What color palette is Hot Toys going to use for the new show? It legitimately crosses my mind. I'm deeply concerned with how it's going to look for, say, Skeleton Crew, if we're even going to get figures from Skeleton Crew. But anyway, enough about this box. I'm really more interested to see what's on the inside of it. So let's get into it and find out. All right, before we dig into the guts of the thing, I just wanted you guys to have a much closer look, much more high-res look at the front of the box and the gorgeous artwork that's on the front, and up to and including this nice chrome logo, the Star Wars logo. Also up here, I didn't call out earlier, is the Sideshow exclusive sticker, which means that we're gonna have a little extra bit of goodies on the inside. I think that there's just like one little thing, but we'll talk about that when the time comes. Yeah, massive box, as you can see. I've actually had to lower the table lower than I usually have it and raise the camera a little bit higher, and getting it to fit was an absolute mess. So apologize if anybody's having to look at things on my floor or things on my lap. There's really nothing on my lap, but you know, whatever. Okay, but enough of that. Once you lift off this box top, let's take a look at that insert, because there's always an insert with some really awesome photography on it. Reveal! Reveal. Oh. Yeah. And there it is. It's dusty. It's out open for a little bit. Yeah. Oh yeah, look at that. There he is on his throne with a glimpse of the Fennec Shand 6-scale figure, which is, we hope, coming soon. We'll find out. We'll all find out together. Thank you. Yeah. And yeah, once again, we see the characteristic embers. There are always embers on a Star Wars Hot Toys insert photo. It's just characteristic. It's kind of like me and the smoky haze and the lens flare that I always manage to find a way to squeeze into my Hot Toys photography. Everybody's got a signature. Everybody's got a signature. It's true. Anyway, so let's go ahead and take this off to reveal everything. Look at all that stuff. That is some goodness, everyone. My God, that's a lot of stuff. Okay, and you know, it's not even really that it's a lot of stuff, because it's what you would expect the Boba Fett figure to include. And I think that there are probably other Boba Fett figures out there that include more. But this is a lot of stuff. You can see, let's see, where am I gonna start? Where should I start? Let's go ahead and start with the figure itself. All right, let's just get that out of the box, get it up here. And there it is. Nice thing about this is that I don't necessarily have to take it all the way out. Usually I have to flip it sideways in order to get it all to get on camera when I bring it in close, but not today. Not today. And fair warning, this is a considerably wider angle lens than what I typically use in my overhead shot. So what you're seeing through here might suffer from a little bit of barrel distortion. It may not accurately convey all the different elements of, like, say, the portrait when I bring that out. It might just like warp it in a way. You've all seen wide angle camera lenses in the way that they just make your nose look big and everything else over here gets pushed back. It's just really, yeah, not attractive. But we'll do the best we can with what we've got. Anyway, let's get back to this, which is really the star of the show. This figure has been highlighted on any number of channels, any number of times before now. So, and I'm just now getting to it, and I'm, sorry for my tardiness, but it's new to me, and maybe it's new to some of you. But look at okay, let's go ahead and get him in close and just look at the detail. Oh, lost it. Look at the detail on that armor. I'm going to rotate it here so that you can see that texture and just how crisp that it is. You're looking at overpainting. He's painted over the already painted bits of his armor rather than cleaning it all off. This is evidently, I believe this is probably something that Boba had to do when he was on the fly, because he was literally flying around with the Mandalorian. He didn't have a base of operations yet and had no real opportunity to properly sand down, smooth down his armor, remove all the old paint off of it, and reapply the paint in a proper way that would just give it that attractive, smooth appearance. He had to do it hastily. And as a result, he's got this crazy texture going on here. I'll go ahead and rotate it around this way. This is a much different figure. The costume is much different than what we saw in his first appearance in The Mandalorian. And you can see how I love what he's done here with the pauldrons, how they're just kind of emerging from what appears to be almost part of a tabard. That would indicate to me that what this is underneath his armor is actually a tabard, almost Jedi-like in style, that would cross over down here and drop into this. So I'm guessing that that's what we're looking at here. It's like a half tabard, because it only happens on this side, even when you come around to the back. It's only a single-sided, like half tabard sort of a thing. I dig that. I dig that. That's cool. Ooh, lint. Ew. Linty. Linty fresh. That's never going to be a thing. That should never be a thing. Linty and fresh are well, no, never pair those together. Anyway, back to this. Continue around, just giving you a close look. Oh, the armor on the back. Wow, look at the crispness. Look at how vibrant that helmet is. Just look at that. I love that. Oh, lost focus. Just look at how vibrant that helmet is. I love that. It looks so good. And the red, just the red right here in this area of the helmet there, and on the stripe, it just really, really pops. Just go ahead and rotate him around. You can see the mythosaur, the classic mythosaur skull there on his shoulder, on his pauldron. And again, those red lines are just bright, really saturated. It's not something, I don't recall other Boba Fett helmets looking that way. Oh, maybe they did, and I'm just not remembering properly. I will bring in the Boba Fett Deluxe figure from Hot Toys from his early appearance in the from his early appearance in The Mandalorian. So we'll get a closer look and compare and contrast the two of those after we get them on the table there. But yeah, so this is looking really good. Look at that belt. Let's get up close on that belt. Really shiny, brassy, bronzy buckle there, and the pouches are just this really nice reddish leather look. And of course the braided belt over the cummerbund, very, very attractive. Take a look at those van braces, very classic, painted back to their full glory. And there's some really cool stuff that we're going to be able to do with that once I get going. The Whistling Birds, whatever happened to his thigh armor? Something got lost. Something got lost. Yeah, I always wondered that. All right, let's get a closer look at all these accessories. Here's his jetpack, and you can see that it comes in two pieces, right? You've got the rocket, so you can actually display it, and look how clean that is. Look, they've got all the different details going on there, so when it's fired, it legitimately looks like a barrel, for lack of a better word, of a launcher, as opposed to just, Is this properly keyed? No, so it can go in any way that you want. Nice and snug fit. Did you see how much effort I had to put into tightening that up? And of course, I think these things no, these things are not, on the sideshow version of Boba Fett, the little prongs here were articulated and could extend if you wanted to do so. But yeah, man, that's in there tight. I like that a lot. I like that a lot, Hot Toys, thank you. You also get this really cool flame effect. I've had a lot of fun with these flame effects in photography. As you can see, they play with the light really well, and they read very much in a realistic fashion. Yeah, so that's fun. I actually have on my Boba Fett Deluxe figure, the earlier incarnation of this incarnation, I actually have the flame effect in full effect on there. All right, so here, this is where okay. Holograms. There's a little holo emitter. Look at how that pops in the light. Look at that. It really does pop. And you have your choice of different. Yeah, this one doesn't rotate. You have your choice of different holographic effects. In this case, Boba Fett Starship, the Starship formerly known as Slave One. On the quarter scale version of this figure, you actually have the wings actually rotate, and so does the gun. The gun turrets rotate as well. And you can display it either vertically or horizontally. Try to get that properly. You can either do it vertically or horizontally. No? Okay. All right, nice try. Here is the other exclusive, or the other holo thing. It is the Razor Crest, the late and lamented Razor Crest. We can still call that shit by its name. There we go. Get the focus on. And it's fun. I'm trying to remember when in the show you actually saw Boba use a hologram of the Razor Crest. I'm also assuming that all of these things are interchangeable between figures. I've never tried to use a hologram from one character's figure with another character's holo emitter. This is fun, and I've never used it though, but it's still pretty cool. I've never used it in my own display. It is the grappling gun, or the grappling hook? Yeah, the grappling hook, let's call it that. Stiff wire, very stiff wire. So you never have to worry about this thing dropping down and becoming an issue with, with it sagging or anything like that. It will never do that. E3, one of my favorite guns of all time. Look at that. Look at the crispness and the detail. The metallic, the weathering that shines through, where the blackened parts of the steel have, Durasteel one assumes, have been rubbed off. You've got that great looking wood grain. Man, that's really cool. Liking that a lot, flipping around there. So you're not turning your heads upside down. Yeah, loving the look of the stock there, the barrel, everything about it. Very, very cool. This is the Sacros K11? I think it's a Sacros K11, but I could be wrong, and again, Todd will correct me up here. There we go. Looking sharp. Love, love, love the detail there. I wanted to save the best for last because I really do dig a good Hot Toys portrait, and this is a really good Hot Toys portrait, everyone. I hope that I've lit, yeah, this is pretty decently lit. I've done better jobs. But look at how good that looks. And again, like I said, this is not the usual focal length that I use. It's not the ideal focal length for trying to focus on a portrait like this, but we still get a pretty good idea of how good it looks there. Get that back in there. Now, let's break out the throne. You can also see that there's a stand in there, so that's cool. But let's get this out and just see what we can do with it in this. Yeah, looky, looky. That's really, really good looking. Look at how the light just like dances with that texture in there. The elevated runes. That, as I understand it, the throne actually says Boba Fett. I haven't tried to translate it yet. I don't think that, oh. Is it even, it's not Orbesh. But yeah, man, and the Rancor skulls. Our friends at Regal Robot legitimately have magnets of those things. And they're really cool, you should check them out. So let's go ahead around and show you the back, which is just kind of basic. That's kind of cool. There's that's open back there. I wonder what's up with that. But you can see all the way through it there. Come around to the side and that's it. Okay, so I'm showing you the figure. showing you the throne. But what can it do? Well, I'm going to throw this thing on the ground. Not really. I'm going to throw this thing onto the table and do a posing session with it. So yeah, let's make that happen. Okay, here we go. This is Boba Fett out of the box. Now, you may have noticed if you were paying attention during the unboxing segment, there was actually a little bit of a thing going on with this guy. It was raised all the way up to like his elbow. Looked very unsightly. Not really a big fan of that, so I fixed that. So yay, that's better now. But there is a little bit of a figure dressing that we need to do here before we can get going on the pose. And I am today just going to pose him on the throne. And we'll showcase some other poses in the photo gallery later on down the line. I almost lost the gun there. But we're just going to go ahead and slide his Sacros pistol into the, still don't know which one it is, down into the holster here. Lock that into place and bring that arm back where it's supposed to be. With that out of the way, of course, we're going to need to add his jetpack. Go. Yeah. Now, I love this. Okay, first of all, I just want to say that I love this. Magnets, and only magnets all day long. It just kind of goes there and just stays there. It's very, very, you can shake it. I mean, I'm sure that if I really, gave it some effort, then I could probably shake it off there, but who the hell wants to do that? And the other element that we're going to need, oops, sorry there, Boba. Man, he just looks all scarred up and gnarly, doesn't he? Look at how pasty that back of that head is. Really is gross. Yeah. So I'm going to need this. I'm going to need the EE3 blaster rifle. Let's just go ahead and throw that down there. And everything else, I'm just going to push aside here because I need, well, better keep the instructions handy. They might come in handy later. I'm going to need to go ahead and bring this up. And everything else was going to be in the way. So, yes, at the end of Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 8, Chapter 16, The Rescue, he did sit on the throne with his jetpack on. So we're going to just go ahead and get him in a sitting posture here. Start by lifting the leg. And again, like I always try to tell people, as much as you can, bend, put your fingers as close to the point of articulation that you're wanting to manipulate as possible so as to eliminate the potential for disaster, we'll say. And let's see. Yeah, see how that just keeps trying to ride up there? Yeah. So let's, and it happens more the more that I think that I'm going to want a different hand. I think I'm going to want a fist on his right. Let's go ahead and take this off because, as we've pointed out, it is very secure on the back, but I don't want to tempt fate when I'm manipulating him and turning him upside down. And there are some parts to that jetpack that are fragile, and I really do not want. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Feet nicely touching the ground and everything. Let's go ahead and bring this up. I'm just going to experiment with stuff. I did not take a look at the show immediately before this posing session. I've seen it enough times though, and I've posed enough characters with their, arms sitting on thrones and whatnot that I feel like I've a little bit of a veteran with it. Let's go ahead and drop this down here. Yeah. All right, so what I'm running into here, it's not really something that I'm running into, but if you do allow, the temptation might be there to have Boba sit back as a means of just keeping him balanced. But if you do that, that jetpack, the E3 will collide and you can see how it just moves. Well, I can, but maybe you can. It actually lifts up on this one side. And we don't want that. So let's just go ahead. I'm going to rotate his body just a touch because I don't like straight lines. And also because I want him to have his arm back here on the seat. How's that looking? I do want him leaning forward a bit more. Keep fighting this this van brace. Get that thing to come down. And maybe twist it. Yeah, I think it needs to twist around. This part of the vambrace should always be aligned with the top of his hand. On both vambraces, actually. So just keep that in mind while you're manipulating the figure. And let me just... Yeah, we need him further up. So this is not going to perfectly duplicate the scene at the end of the Book of Boba Fett. It's just going to be inspired by the scene, because I really do think, as cool as he looked there at the end, I think we can make him cooler. Like in this case, I really want him to look like he's... There we go, got it all the way up. I really want him to look like he's leaning forward and just getting ready to like utter a decree, or just, I don't know, bring someone into his employment or something. Like he's about to utter something. He's just about to, and we don't want, typically I would tilt Boba's helmet just to give him a little bit of an attitude, but I don't want that today. Just really wanted to get him leaning forward a little bit more though. And that's hard because of the jetpack. And subsequently what we're running into is that, as you can see, his feet aren't quite hitting the bottom there. So let's twist that torso a little bit more. And I'm going to do it with the jetpack on because I am reckless. I just did a Yoda quote in an Emperor kind of voice. Weird. Didn't sound right at all. I just noticed that this top part of the tabard has draped over to the side while the other one did not, so I'm going to try to make both of those drape over that way. Because while that cool shiny fabric for the tabard is attractive in some ways, yeah, always make sure that your fabric is obeying the laws of gravity. And I think that should work. Very, very easy. But what I've done differently again is he was sitting pretty much straight, maybe leaning over slightly to the side. I've rotated the torso a little bit just so I could get his elbow or his forearm up there on the arm of the throne properly. And then I've also just kind of casually draped this, almost like he's kind of doing a forward lean into whoever he's addressing. Now I did notice, there we go, that did it. Okay, by working the jetpack after I have him in the position, I've been able to push his lean forward so that his feet are actually touching the ground, or very, very close to it. I also want to turn this head just a little bit, and I want him looking down because it's his business face. He's working that T-visor like a cowboy works a cowboy hat. You can create expressions with that. If it's looking up, you can create like this arch, which kind of indicates surprise, or maybe something a little bit, I don't know, like he's in a defensive posture. Looking down kind of gives him a very stern expression. Of course, having it straight across, see how that curve just kind of makes it look like he's frowning. So that's crucial when you're posing a Boba Fett figure. Any Boba Fett figure, any Mandalorian figure actually, or Stormtrooper, or whatever. Pick your armored character. Anyway, that's it. Now I'm going to drop the. Oh wait, almost forgot. Yeah, kind of leans that. The EE3 up against the arm there. Might be a little bit further in the film, but for this I think it's attractive just to have it right there. Plus you have just that nice area beside the Rancor head that's going to, that's just going to give it that stability that we seek. Anyway, that's it. That's the Boba Fett pose of the day, and let me know what you think about it in the chats, and as always, be good to your plastic. Let's get rid of that plant. I skipped a step. It's true. Yeah, I completely forgot to bring out this one, the Boba Fett figure from the Boba Fett Deluxe 6-scale figure set by Hot Toys, the one that also includes him in his Tusken garb. Yeah, the way that we first saw him in that great episode, The Tragedy. The actual return of Boba Fett. Really, really love that episode. But as you can see, the bulk of the differences happen above the waist, or they start at the waist actually. For the most part, the pants, boots, the half tabard, everything is the same on this figure as it is on this figure. The real transition starts to happen with the belt. The changes occur. You can see the difference. There's a bunch of cartridges, one assumes, for the cycler rifle on this belt, but he does away with that considering he doesn't need the cycler rifle anymore now that he's got his EE-23 back. And which kind of raises the question, where did that EE-23 come from? Did he have to go out and get another? I don't know. I honestly don't know, and I don't think that that's ever been explained. Also, the hoses are different in this new version. He's actually upgraded the hoses. They're no longer, I'm going to spin this around so you can actually see, but they are translucent hoses in this figure, whereas they've gone all matte black. That's right. He's blacked out his get-up. He's totally gone with the blackout look. It's very hip right now, at least in this galaxy. Yeah, and one presumes theirs. But yeah, so that's looking pretty cool. I just noticed that my flame effect has moved a little bit here. Also up top in the original version, he has the original vest from his original getup from Return of the Jedi still. And of course, it's obviously just obnoxiously weathered. Obnoxiously weathered. Which, you know, you would expect that. It's been years, 8 years, and it's been inside of a Sarlacc stomach. So, you know, what are you gonna do? Check out the differences in weathering there. But again, I just want to kind of bring up, you can see, maybe in this light, I'm not sure, how the patterns of the paint spray mimic the patterns in the chest. And that's really, really cool. That's solid attention to detail on the part of Hot Toys. Something also we should also point out is that this figure does not come with the jetpack effects. No real shock. In that last scene, he didn't use the jetpack. So, you know, no big surprise there. And that's it. That's your differences insofar as I'm able to ascertain. I'm looking at the jetpack. We should do a poll. Like, which paint job do you prefer on the jetpack? This one obviously has the repair done to it from when Mando struck him in the back. I think is that from when Mando hit Cobb Vanth in the back? Or is that from when Han hit Boba in the back? Maybe it's both. I don't know. Why not both? But I kind of prefer the paint job, the original paint job, the colorful paint job. But he's gone all green. He's gone all monotonal on us there. So that's fine, I suppose. It's good to have different things. It's good to, like, you know, a variety in your collection, right? And if they were exactly the same, then, you know, we wouldn't really be all that interested in getting them. Who am I kidding? I would totally get another Boba Fett figure, no matter what. If it's exactly the same. Oh, but it's from a different show. Okay. Anyway. I know. I wasn't terribly diligent when it came to actually getting the feet all the way on the floor in these photos. Apologies for that, but it can be done. I just was moving too quickly. Look at them. He's just hovering. It's kind of cute. Also, this comparison thing that I'm doing here actually has me thinking more and more about this idea that I've had of doing a full Boba Fett, every single Boba Fett ever released video. So I think that's coming down the pipe. I don't see it happening next week or the week after that, but sometime in the coming months, I would like to really, really tackle that because I do have them all, both from Hot Toys and from Sideshow. Anyway, tell me what you think of this video in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and until next time, be good to your plastic.